And yeah, I do want to get gifts for all the people I care about. Even if this is all that I have right now, I'm sure I can find things of mine to part with to help me fund the rest of the presents I want to give. Because that's just what I want to do. But I better get out there quickly before all the good gifts are gone. I mean, I spent so much time questioning the existence of holidays that it's March. I'll wait till next Christmas. I'm here! And just in time for the big sale!
Sorry, man. Just closing up shop.
But this flyer says you guys are having a sale today!
Yeah, I put those up yesterday.
Well, you could have been more specific!
And you could have been here yesterday. Looks like we both f***ed up.
Man. Wait a second, you look familiar.
Oh, I get that a lot.
Oh my god. You're my landlord!
Damn, is it really that noticeable?
You kicked me out of my apartment to save money!
Oh, come on. Stop living in the past. That was so long ago.
It was this month!
Not if you count in dog years.
Well, what the f*** are you doing working at Big Lots?
Hey, I'm only a landlord on the weekends. Big Lots is where I do my real business.
Damn, you take shits here?
And rip off customers.
Okay, well, regardless, hear me out for a second. I need 20 cc's of presents stat. I told myself I would get gifts for all of my loved ones this year, and I'll be damned if I fail everybody and myself.
You waited until a few days before Christmas to do your Christmas shopping?
We'll address my procrastination problem next year, one thing at a time.
And you're seriously trying to buy presents for everyone that you know and care about?
Oh yeah, I've been saving up since March, and I'm looking to spend the big bucks this holiday season.
Wow, look at you stimulating the economy.
Oh, I'm not just gonna stimulate the economy, I'm gonna straight up pleasure it.
Gross.
Oh, come on, don't be a prude.
I know what to tell you, buddy. Store got cleared out yesterday during the sale. You're out of luck. You missed the boat. Someone bought it yesterday.
Come on, you must have some gift-worthy items in there. Can you check in the back?
Hey, I didn't become head manager of this Big Lots by checking in the back every time someone asked me. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's stuff back there.
Please just let me have it. It's Christmas. Plus, it'll help you clear your conscience for how poorly you treated me as a tenant.
I do like walking around with slightly less guilt.
So, what do you say?
Tell you what, I'll let you have everything in the back of the store for free, no money, if you do something for me in return.
I am not giving you a urine sample.
I wasn't gonna ask you for one.
Good, because you're not gonna get one. So what did you want me to do?
I want you to provide me with some kind of service. A service you can't quite get anywhere else.
I could ramble to you about stupid bullshit.
Perfect.
Okay, so what topic do you want?
Dealer's choice.
Well, it is the holiday season. Brace yourself.
Damn, calendars exist. And when a calendar shows its ugly head, a holiday is sure to follow. Holidays, much like death, are an inevitability. They pop up all the time, you can't avoid them. Trust me, I've tried. But this isn't really a problem for many. Most of us are happy to drop our human shit to carve a penis into a pumpkin. For most people, holidays are just a way of life. But for a concept that we put so much time and effort into acknowledging each and every year, you can't help but question every now and then, what's the point? So why not take a deeper look at a variety of different holidays and the various traditions associated with each one to figure out why the f we should give a f. Of course, I've gone on the record discussing holidays in the past, but I only covered what I thought to be the main four when it comes to the quote holiday season. But there's a lot of other holidays out there, and just because they don't all pop up during the latter half of the year doesn't mean they're immune to my harsh and critical analysis. You can't hide from me. Now, I am from the US, so I'm scum, but that also means that, much like the last time, I'll mainly be taking a look at the main state North American holidays. Trust me, that's best for everyone. If I had to stand here trying to muster up things to say about Vardavar, we would just get 15 straight minutes of me looking like this. So let's begin with a holiday that I'm a lot more familiar with, that being... I knew there was a reason I brought this with me today.
What is that, a paperweight?
I typically use it as a coaster.
Alright, so this coaster right here is known as a Bible, which essentially contains the information of which the holiday known as Easter derives from. Easter is a Christianity-centric celebration of the day of which Jesus Christ, that's this guy, was resurrected following his crucifixion. Oh, that's fun. See, Jesus did some stuff that wasn't too great or something, so they nailed him to a cross, he died, was raised from the dead, and everyone agreed that was worth celebrating. And the rest is... in here. The holiday has historically been celebrated during the springtime, as the season is commonly associated with themes of life and rebirth. If you were born in January, your parents f***ed at Easter. Now, unlike most holidays, the day that Easter is actually celebrated on is not set in stone. It's supposed to happen on the Sunday after the first full moon of the spring equinox, usually causing it to land on the first or second Sunday of April, but this isn't always the case, with it sometimes landing in March. Easters that land in March are like people that take their cats on walks. Like, yeah, it's fine, I'll accept it, it just feels a little weird. Now, the name Easter derives from the Christian goddess Yoster, who was also typically honored at the beginning of spring. Of course, you may be wondering, what significance did Easter have to me?
I thought the chicken came first.
Something I always looked forward to when Easter rolled around was the yearly Easter egg hunt. My folks would hide little plastic eggs all around the inside and outside of the house, and I'd spend all morning searching for them and being treated to little toys and trinkets. This was an aspect of Easter that always seemed to pop up when I was a child, and I think I'm not alone when I say that. Much like spring, eggs are tied to Easter due to them being seen as a symbol of life and birth, so it just made sense to make kids work to find them. Yeah, like you had a better use of your time when you were 7. Decorating eggs was also a tradition I remember pretty fondly from my youthful days, even if I sucked at it. These are the kinds of traditions I can really get behind when it comes to holidays, you know? A practice that, regardless of your investment in a given holiday and the religious ties it may have, can allow for people to come together to express their creativity and share something in common, like their hate for rabbits. Another big symbol of the Easter celebration is bunny rabbits. See, every holiday needs a mascot, or as I like to call them, scapegoats, which oddly enough would have been a better mascot. You got Santa Claus for Christmas, Cupid for Valentine's Day, turkeys for Thanksgiving, and of course, rabbits for Easter.
Don't forget ferrets for Labor Day.
See, over time, rabbits have gone from a symbolic figure of Easter to the Antichrist himself. How can they be tied to Easter then? With holidays becoming more and more pushed upon the general public as the years went on, I guess it was only natural that we would try to personify some aspect about them to make them feel more human. And like, I get dressing up in mascot costumes for all these holidays, but with Easter, I fear that we've lost the plot. I mean, look at this. That's f***ed up. You know how people feel creeped out by clowns? That's how I feel about the Easter Bunny. Don't worry, I'll give you a second. I think a lot of my disdain for the concept of the Easter Bunny comes from my experience with Zipper T Bunny from the Animal Crossing series. He's just this soulless figure that always has the same expression. He hops around all gleefully, but I just want him to get the f*** away from me. Of course, in concept, the Easter Bunny is harmless. It's just a dumb f***ing stupid f***ing piece of shit, dirty f***ing rabbit. But in practice, like, this is what we get out of it. Like, man, you can have your fetishes, just leave me out of them.
No.
Even when I was young, I never really questioned the egg aspect of Easter, probably because I liked Easter egg hunts, but I sure as hell questioned the bunnies. Well, as it turns out, rabbits are a symbol pertinent to Easter due to their relation to springtime and fertility. This is a sex symbol? Then what does that make this?
Viagra.
Yeah, candy is another pretty big theme of Easter, much like Halloween. During the aforementioned yearly egg hunts, a lot of the eggs that my folks would hide would include little chocolates and candies and everything they scolded me for eating too much of. Then why give me so much of it? I never actually knew this until recently, but I guess candy is a huge theme tied to Easter due to the Christian tradition of giving up various foods for Lent, the 40-day period leading up until Easter. So eating a bunch of candy on Easter is to, I guess, reward those that waited. I haven't murdered anyone in a whole month. It's time to celebrate. Much like other holidays, major retail stores thrive on selling merchandise that pertains to the current time of year, and when it comes to Easter, the rabbits win. Damn it! You got jelly beans, lollipops, all the fucking peeps you could ask for, my lord. Peeps Pepsi. Chocolate eggs, peanut butter eggs, marshmallow eggs, and of course, the chocolate bunny. You. These never tasted as good as regular chocolate. They always tasted so artificial. Oh god, you're telling me this isn't organic? And I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of like my candy to be shaped like fucking candy. But wait, this candy is special. Not only is it shaped like a bunny, but it's only offered for a limited time during the Easter season. Oh, then of course I'll buy your shitty chocolate rabbit.
Lucky you. We still got a couple in the back from last Easter.
It's December.
Now, if there's any holiday that kind of eluded me growing up, it was definitely St. Patrick's Day. What is this? Well, St. Patrick's Day also relates to Christianity, celebrating the death of St. Patrick. It's in the fucking name. St. Patrick mainly held prominence in Ireland, where he played a big role in introducing Christianity to the locals, and so when his passing occurred, it was decided, well, we can't call it that. So St. Patrick's Day it was, being celebrated on March 17th. If your birthday's in December, your parents f***ed at St. Patrick's Day.
I can't think of a better way to celebrate.
Well, as it turns out, there's quite a number of ways to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Bud Light, Corona, Heineken. Yeah, drinking is a big part of the annual St. Patrick's Day tradition. If you just got out of rehab when the holiday rolls around, Run. Of course, as this holiday mainly holds prominence amongst Irish folk, it doubles not just as a celebration of St. Patrick, but the Irish population in general. So the alcohol brand known as Guinness is usually the go-to drink of choice when it comes to the holiday, but alcohol as a whole still holds significance. Oh yeah, that makes the Irish look great. Yeah, there's been some criticism when it comes to this tradition, as it's seen as pushing a negative portrayal of Irish culture. It's essentially become pushed as a stereotype, especially in America. I can definitely understand this and think it's important to draw attention to it, even if it doesn't completely excuse it. The idea of going out all night and going through pint after pint of various alcoholic beverages, I mean, that's just a typical weekend for a lot of people. But if other people, those of Irish descent included, want to use St. Patrick's Day as an excuse to go out and let loose a little bit, then I say let them. As long as they're wearing green.
Oh, ha! Got your green right here.
It's December!
Another big tradition of St. Patrick's Day is the color green. Can a color be a tradition?
I don't see why not. Reminds me of my St. Patrick's Day tradition.
What is it?
Existing.
Green is the flagship color of St. Patrick's Day, mainly due to the shamrock being designated as a national symbol of Ireland. And, yeah, that's green alright. Anyone out there who's colorblind, you're f***ed. Every year on the holiday, if you're not wearing green, you're seen as someone committing sin. Well, if that's the worst thing a person can do on St. Patrick's Day, run. A common practice that many folks participate in is pinching those that don't wear green on the holiday. Great, as if I didn't have enough junk to deal with in my daily life, now I gotta worry about getting pinched for not wearing a color?
Too far.
Now, why is this a thing that people do every year? I still don't know. This is a leprechaun, a fictional being derived from Irish folklore, typically portrayed as a short bearded man wearing a green hat and coat, usually classified as relating to fairies. Nothing makes a good holiday quite like f***ing leprechauns.
F***ing leprechauns?
Well, no, not f***ing leprechauns, f***ing leprechauns.
These guys are said to be quite mischievous creatures who enjoy playing practical jokes, including coming out during St. Patrick's Day and pinching anyone who isn't wearing green, which is why the act is practiced every year during the holiday. Is that enough justification for physical abuse? Yes. Leprechauns are weird, man. Like, they don't bother me in the same way the Easter Bunny does, but I've always found their existence perplexing. They kind of stand out to me when it comes to holiday mascots. Like, you can make more justified arguments in favor of the other well-known festive icons, but with leprechauns, it's like, what's the appeal? A little bearded man? Yeah, Santa Claus has a beard, but at least he gives me presents. What do you give me? Anxiety. St. Patrick's Day was always an outlier when it came to yearly holidays for me. The only significance that it really held to me as a kid was that whenever it would roll around, my folks would cook up corned beef and cabbage for dinner. But after looking more into it recently, I do appreciate the holiday a lot more. Sure, there are some aspects of how we celebrate that aren't great, at least when it comes to how it's celebrated in North America, but I hope there's a good amount of people out there that are able to see the holiday not as a bastardization of Irish culture, but as a celebration of it. Contrary to popular belief, it's not just about leprechauns and drinking. A lot of people use St. Patrick's Day to throw banquets or dances or parades, just all around find an excuse to have fun. And to me, that's what holidays are all about.
Please, I can have fun without St. Patrick's Day. Watch. Ah!
You punched a wall?
Yeah! I'm gonna have so much fun at the hospital later.
Now, if I want to stay true to my American roots, no holidays got me covered quite like the 4th of July, otherwise known as Independence Day. It was adopted as a holiday to commemorate the ratification of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776, which established independence to the land known as the 13 colonies previously ruled by Britain. And this land would eventually become part of the 50-state clusterfuck known as the United States of America. Who knew a single document could establish such a big mistake?
Me?
Nah, it's great we have a holiday to celebrate America. After all, we do have a lot to celebrate, like, or even, well, regardless of what America stands for nowadays, this is still a pivotal moment in American history, and it deserves to be remembered. So much, in fact, that we feel the need to call the day by its literal calendar date. Yeah, you ever think about this? Why is Independence Day the only major holiday in which it's largely referred to by the actual date it's on? Like, I get Americans can be stupid, but surely we can remember a simple combination of 5 digits. If you were born in April, your parents f***ed at Independence Day. Every day is 4th of July when you don't give a shit. Independence Day is the day in which the entire nation celebrates what makes America America, i.e. the 3 B's, burgers, booze, and breasts. Don't forget the 4th one. So, how do we usually celebrate the 4th of July? Well, take how you would expect a typical American to celebrate. Point that there gun at a cow. Bingo. Ah yes, the 4th of July barbecue, a tried and true Independence Day tradition. It's perfect. I needed an excuse to buy craft singles.
I did it.
This seems to be the most popular type of gathering when it comes to Independence Day. Just serves as a reminder that one's ability to grill a burger is the most effective means of proving they're American. Vegans are There's a lot of traditions like this, ones that are synonymous with the concept of the US of A and thus are commonly practiced during 4th of July festivities, like baseball. America's favorite sport, huh? I always knew you had bad taste. Yeah, I never really gave a damn about baseball. I'm sure it's really fun to play, but I'm gonna be honest, it's kinda really fucking boring to watch. Of course, I think baseball being designated as America's pastime is kind of an outdated moniker. I'm sure American football is way more popular nowadays, but that's obviously more of a Thanksgiving thing. See, turkeys are brown, footballs are brown, they clearly go hand in hand. Outside of barbecues, there are a ton of other forms of party-like gatherings put on during 4th of July season. You got carnivals, parades, the rodeo. Oh, yes, I haven't gotten enough use out of this shirt. Rodeos have been associated with the 4th of July pretty much ever since 1883, when the event recognized as the first rodeo was held in Pecos, Texas that very year on July 4th. It's all about bull riding, calf roping, goat tying, steer riding, steer roping, steer wrestling. Is it me or do half of these not sound real? There's a rodeo held every year during early July, at least in my neck of the woods, but how would I know that? I'm me. I've only ever been to these things to work as a volunteer for my high school's marching band. Yup, I'm one of those guys. While everyone else was out at the rodeo eating deep fried goodies and soaking up the sun, I was behind a food stand's counter serving up burritos and soaking up regret. I never took myself to be someone who would really enjoy the rodeo, but maybe one year, I'm not even gonna finish that sentence, I don't think I would enjoy the rodeo. But of course, the most well-known tradition of Independence Day is a bit too much, if I'm being honest. Fireworks are unavoidable when it comes to the 4th of July, just like trauma. Everyone's seen or at least heard a firework. They've been sparking PTSD in war veterans for years now. And every year during Independence Day, you can bet that if you look up in the sky, you'll catch a glimpse of at least one big splash of color.
Any minute now.
It is December!
Listen, as a kid, fireworks were always a pretty fun thing to look forward to around Independence Day. I mean, you take a dumb little 9-year-old and a big shiny thing in the sky and it's like a doy. But nowadays, whenever I see a fireworks display at the store for those little poppers or whatever, I just don't really give a shit. I don't know. I guess I just kind of outgrew the novelty of fireworks after seeing them so many times in the past. I remember doing those small street fireworks a lot with my friends and family, but I don't even really feel compelled to do those anymore. These hands weren't made to light fireworks, they were made to not feel joy. Independence Day might not be my favorite holiday, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have some fond memories from years past. Much like any other holiday, it can just be a nice excuse to get together with your loved ones and have a good time.
Oh yeah, like a funeral.
What the hell? Those aren't the same at all. Funerals are way more fun.
New Year's, you know New Year's, it's New Year's. The new year? Yeah, New Year's. New Year's is celebrated on take a fucking guess. If you were born in October, yeah, you get it. It's considered a pretty big deal when we switch over to a new year, but personally, I never really got the hype. Like, it's just a bunch of boxes. Well, regardless, the new year is obviously seen as a pretty big deal in our culture, so it only makes sense that us Americans celebrate by doing the one thing we're best at: dropping the ball. Each and every year in Times Square, New York City, a huge party is held in which millions of people gather to watch a giant ball drop down in line with the beginning of the new year. Don't act like you have better things to do. Yeah, every year when I was a kid, my family would put on the New Year's countdown live from New York City on the TV to feel like they were part of the festivities. And before you say anything, I don't know what this word means, so there. Nah, I think a lot of kids my age did this with their families growing up. Personally, we would all gather together and drink sparkling apple cider, which was always a treat. I think as you get older, though, there's more of a pressure to, like, go out and do stuff for New Year's. Don't get me wrong, I totally get wanting to celebrate. But man, sometimes I just want to kick back at home. You can't sit here and try to preach to me. Who knows when we'll have another New Year to celebrate? Everyone knows. But hey, maybe I just feel this way because I've never really been to a lot of big New Year's parties. I am getting a lot of mileage out of this sign. Another yearly tradition, the New Year's kiss. See, parties are pretty commonly held on New Year's Eve, leading up until the big countdown to January 1st. And for some reason, a lot of people like to ring it in by squishing lips. If you have someone to do it with, it's great, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that feel pressure to participate even if they're not set up for it, causing them to scramble around leading up until the big countdown to find someone to kiss at midnight.
Hey, don't look at me.
I wasn't.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were still talking about balls dropping.
As a single guy, I don't really feel like kicking the year off by getting charged with assault, so I think I'll steer clear of this tradition. Well, if a clean prison record is something I want, there's only one New Year's tradition for me.
New Year's.
Similar to the 4th of July, lighting up fireworks is a tried and true practice on December 31st. I don't know if a lot of folks go through this, but you ever hear people lighting fireworks like days after New Year's? It kind of takes the excitement out of doing it on the actual day, if you ask me. Like, if we're so willing to light up fireworks on January 5th, why not just do them on every fucking day? Who gives a shit? I'm sure a lot of people do this to get rid of the excess fireworks they had left over after New Year's, but if you bought too many, that's your own damn fault. Oh, but now I have to hear them all night after I just wanted to relax watching Kirby or Enthusiasm? I need peace and quiet so I can work on not following my New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions. Goals that a handful of folks make for themselves to stick to with the coming of the new year. What a fucking joke. In concept, this is a pretty novel idea. You know, strive to do something to improve your lifestyle, lose weight, take up an instrument, read more books, all that happy person shit. But look me in the eye and tell me you've stuck to every New Year's resolution you've ever made in your lifetime. That's what I thought. Honestly, I feel like putting pressure on yourself to stick to a goal that you made for the whole year, ironically enough, makes it harder to actually abide by it most of the time. I feel like most people make a resolution at the top of the year, stick to it for like a week, and then fall off of it, which causes them to think, oh, I'll just strive to do that next year. Or, you know, you could just try again. It's not like it's legally bound that just because you failed to stick to your resolution for 2025 that now you have to wait until 2026 to start it over. What do you do when you fall off the horse? You climb back on. But no, most people don't make New Year's resolutions to actually go through with them. They just do it to go around boasting, I'm gonna lose 50 pounds this year. Oh yeah, just like how I'm gonna stop using this gun. New Year's is an event that I've slowly become less and less inclined to celebrate every year. Oh wow, Antonio, you must be so fun at parties. It's not that I hate New Year's or even that I don't think it's worth celebrating. I've just found that more so each and every year, I just don't give a shit. It's like that old saying, you know, same shit, different day. Try same shit, different year. Like, whatever, New Year's is fine, but at this point, I think we're kind of stretching the definition of holiday. Well, what do we have to talk about next? I don't know. Does this even count as a holiday?
Do you count as a bitch?
Well, I don't know where else I would have an excuse to talk about this, so you know what they say. F it. Leap years are celebrated every 4 years, in which we get an extra day in February, turning 28 days to 29 and 365 days to 366. If you were born on February 29th, your parents f***ed you over. See, we do this to keep our normal calendars synced up with how the world seasons and other astronomical events play out. Despite the fact that we usually define the average year to be 365 days in length, they're really closer to 365 and a quarter days, but that doesn't quite have as nice of a ring to it. So if we didn't add an extra day in February every 4 years, we'd all be
Yeah, only then.
The term leap year comes from the way that this causes certain dates to align with their corresponding days of the week. Normally, a specific date would land on the day of the week directly following the one it landed on in the previous year. In 2021, March 1st landed on a Monday. In 2022, landed on a Tuesday. 2023 on a Wednesday. But because 2024 was a leap year, instead of landing on a Thursday as per what would typically happen, it landed on a Friday, meaning the Thursday was leaped over, so to speak.
And that's when she usually says, I think we should just be friends.
The leap year is honestly a pretty interesting concept with a lot of history behind it, but as a holiday, it pretty much just serves as something that everyone kind of just forgets about until it happens. I mean, hell, I just dedicated a minute and a half to talking about it, and I don't even remember what the f we were talking about.
There, I gave you your personal service.
Damn, you really do know how to talk about bullshit.
It's a blessing and a curse. Now, can you just let me in the store already?
Sure thing. Wait, I just remembered why I never checked in the back of the store for people. We don't have a back of the store.
What?
Sorry, buddy. Looks like I can't provide you with the gift folder I promised.
What am I supposed to give all my loved ones now?
You can feel free to look for a dumpster.
Okay. Well, okay, that was kind of a huge waste of time, but hey, at least I got a Holiday Grimace Funko Pop figure out of it. Holidays are an interesting beast. They're something that we can all take for granted, yet also something that we always seem to put a lot of thought into whenever they roll around. And ironically enough, I think it's that very reason that we can often lose sight of what makes holidays so special. Holidays don't always need to be justified to be celebrated. Sure, it's great to know their history and significance, but sometimes it's okay to just use them as an excuse to have a good time. Celebrate them how you want to celebrate them. And through all the rambling and bullshitting I've done today, I think I finally understand what holidays mean to me. Yes, it's great to get gifts on Christmas, or eat candy on Easter, or watch fireworks on the 4th of July or New Year's, but I think what really makes holidays great is getting the ability to spend time with your loved ones. I may have wanted to go all out for Christmas this year. Needless to say, it didn't pan out exactly as planned, but that's okay. I'll figure something else out. What truly matters is me being able to appreciate the people in my life. And thank God I came to that conclusion, because seriously, like, who the f*** would want this?